The real joy for me now is seeing people's first reactions. I've had the privilege of visiting the Holy Land many times. You just want to take it all in. The sights and sounds and smells just hit you. We typically start our trips in Jerusalem. Some trips start in Bethlehem. A trip to the Holy Land is like a trip to the Bible. It comes alive. It is a pilgrimage, it's not a holiday. This is a pilgrimage. This is to walk where Jesus once walked, and that you can't put into words sometimes. They're local people who know the situation, know the place, and will help us throughout our trip. And always I've found that we make a real bond with both the driver and our local guide. What strikes you is how quickly you get into the Judean desert and how quickly the geography changes. These amazing swathes of land of just desert, and you imagine Jesus being driven out into the wilderness. One of the privileges of going with McCabe is the opportunity not only just to see the sights and visit the places, but to visit people and to see some of the projects that they're involved with. We had the privilege of going to the Jil Al-Amal boys' home, where there's 120 boys from 3 years old up to 16, and they're taken from those who have no parents, no family, and they're given a home and an education. The school is open to girls, the boarders are only boys, I think. The way the facilities have improved over the years through the support of McCabe and through the pilgrimages and people's private support has been wonderful to see. It is like an oasis in that place, to see the school and see the facilities. And then into Bethlehem itself. Bethlehem is just so special as the birthplace of Jesus. We head out to what they call the Shepherd's Fields, which is just outside of Bethlehem, where they heard the first amazing news that the Saviour had been born. I'll never forget my first glimpse of Galilee, which was breathtaking. It literally did take my breath away just to know that Jesus walked on those hills, and that's where he taught and met his disciples. One of the highlights of any pilgrimage to the Holy Land will be time spent around Galilee, because Jesus certainly spent much of his ministry around that area. time just walking around the ordinary streets. One of the things the trip to the Holy Land enables you to take in is the geography, the size of the Promised Land. And it gives you an idea of the distances that Jesus and the disciples travelled. The wonderful thing about visiting Galilee and the hills and area around is that it hasn't changed. So you can imagine Jesus there on the hills with his disciples. One of the highlights of any tour is to share an outdoor communion right on the lakeside. It's the site of the multiplication of the loaves and the fish. To share in that way and to share with communion together is just such a special place to be. You can't find a better backdrop for any place to share communion in. For anyone thinking of visiting the Holy Land, I would just encourage them to go. It is the most amazing place, and to walk where Jesus walked is just phenomenal. And to visit the sites and the places and the people will just enhance your walk with Jesus. It will bring the Bible alive to you, and it will be a memory that you'll have for the rest of your life.